Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
What's going on YouTube? It's Filthy and we're back with another video. Today we're on the Diablo 2 Resurrected Beta, and hopefully this video is going to help you out choosing your class when you play the open beta starting on Friday. Now, I've played the closed beta. It finishes today. I had an awful lot of fun. I've got a Sorceress to the end of the game. I've got a Druid pretty much to the end of the game. I've played a fair bit of Paladin, I've started an Amazon, and I've played a little bit of Barb. But I'm going to talk through the classes. I'm going to hopefully give you a little synopsis of them, a little bit of a kind of, a bit of advice really to work out which class is going to be right for you when you play the beta. Now, obviously, the decision here for you is whether you're going to buy the game or not. The open beta is designed, obviously, to stress the servers, so there might well be a little bit of rubber banding, there might be a few performance issues, but it's here really for your purposes to say, do I want to buy this game or not? Now, if you're a Diablo 2 aficionado, you've been playing the game since its release like over 20 years ago, then obviously this video isn't for you. But if you're like me, you did play the original D2 and you're coming back to the game after a long period of absence to the point where pretty much you can't remember anything that's happened. Obviously it's going to take you a long time to get from the end of Act 1 to the end of Act 2, just simply for the fact that you're going to get lost, you're not going to remember where to go, you're probably going to pick up and look at too many items. Not that those are bad things, it's a very nostalgic way to play the game, but the point I'm getting at is that it's probably going to take you, I don't know, if you're really efficient, really good at the game, you can blast through Acts 1 and 2 on normal in a couple of hours, 2-3 hours per class. If you've never played or you're coming back after a long absence, it might well take 5, 8, 10 hours. Again, it just depends, on how much you look around Sanctuary and that kind of thing. So the idea is we're just going to go through the classes. I'm going to tell you the order that I would play them in terms of what I think is the most interesting, what are the strengths and weaknesses, that kind of thing. And hopefully speaking, you'll have a good time on the beta. If you have a good time on the beta, you'll order the game, and the more people we can get in the Diablo community, so much the better. Before we do jump in and take a look though, welcome to anybody who is new. If you are interested in Diablo 2 Resurrected, do hit the subscribe button. I'm going to be making some more videos, tips and trick videos, that kind of thing. And as always, guys, thumbs up brightens my day. Right, now, I personally think the most interesting class that we have access to in the beta is the Druid. This guy can shapeshift. You can turn yourself into a werewolf or into a werebear. It's quite tanky, particularly in the werebear form. The werewolf is quite fast. You've got a lot of stamina. One of the bugbears of this game is moving around and running around because you do have a stamina bar, so you can't just sprint the whole way around all the time. But the werewolf will make that a little bit easier. I had an absolute blast playing this for the first few days. It's just really cool to turn yourself into a werewolf, slap stuff with your claws. The animations look fantastic. The character model looks fantastic. And I just had a really good time. You can build this character in a pet kind of way. You can have lots of pets if you want. Wolves, ravens, spirits, that kind of thing. But I just think it's kind of nice bashing stuff in the face, either as a giant grizzly bear or as a werewolf. So yeah, I do think that this is the most interesting character. Next up is the Sorceress. Again, Diablo 2 is a very dark and gritty game, so lots of the levels look kind of like this opening screen here. It's very dark. You've got things lit by torches, the electricity, so the lightning effects will light up the area around you. Same for the fire, and obviously the Sorceress is pretty elemental, fire attacks, lightning attacks. Now she is squishy. She does use a lot of mana, which the Druid doesn't. You can build an effective Druid without having to like spam mana potions all the time. The Sorceress is very powerful, but is squishy, and you will be blamming those mana potions. But I do think she fits with D2 pretty well. You can get some rune words, which again I'll talk more about in a tip video coming, to make her very powerful. And she's got good AoE damage, good range damage, and yeah, this is the character that I've basically finished the beta on. She, arguably is one of the stronger characters in the game, particularly for the first couple of acts. But yeah, a lot of fun. It's really nice to see the fire, shoot your fireballs down the corridor and watch them light everything up. So it is pretty nice. Now, I'd say probably the easiest class to complete the 2 acts is going to be the Paladin. The Paladin has got a skill called Holy Fire. This is really strong because it'll do AoE damage. It'll do a lot of damage when you actually click and hit something. It's possibly a little duller than the other 2 classes because obviously you're not turning yourself into anything. You've got no real cool elemental stuff. I didn't quite get my Paladin up to level 18 for hammers, for the Hammerdin, which I'm hoping will look pretty cool. You know, maybe I'll get that done after I film this video. But it's certainly the easiest, I think, because you don't really have mana problems. You can stack an awful lot of toughness, you know, life, all resist, that type of thing, because the Holy Fire just does so much damage on normal. So you can, you know, blast your way through Acts 1 and 2 pretty efficiently. So I'd say this is the easiest one to play. This is the most fun one to play, and obviously, you know, people just like Sorceress, Wizard, Mage, whatever you want to call it, and it does look pretty cool. Now, nothing against the last 2 classes, which are the Amazon. This is more of a range class. You can do melee, close combat stuff. It is kind of nice actually to, you know, use your javelin like a pin cushion and, you know, repeatedly stab stuff. But generally speaking, it's going to be you throwing javelins, you're firing your bow and arrow, more you kind of hunter range class type. Now, one thing with this game is your arrows are limited, your javelins are limited, so once you fire them, they are all gone. You have to go back to town and repair before you run out, so that is like an extra thing, similar to the Sorceress. You know, with the mana problems, you've kind of got that issue with the Amazon a little bit, in terms of you've got your stat count to worry about. Plus, you do also have mana on top to spend, so some of the attacks will take mana. So you've got resource 1, resource 2, essentially, so a little bit more complex, possibly. But still, you know, it fits really well with the game because the early level, the first act, revolves around the you know, the Sisters of the Sightless Eye and Amazons and that kind of stuff. So it does work quite well. Nothing against the Amazon. Good class, good solid character, but I just think that Paladin is easier, and these other 2, personally, in my opinion, are a bit more fun and a bit more interesting. And then last up, sadly, we've got the Barb, and nothing against Barb. I love Barb in Diablo 3. I do plan on building a Whirlwind Barb when this game does come out. Maybe I'll do that when the open beta goes live and I get to jump back in again. But I just think Barb is probably the slowest. And it's probably just harder than Paladin. I think Paladin is just an awful lot easier. So, you know, for that reason, I just worry a little bit that if you've never played Diablo 2, you jump in, you make a Barb, you might think this game is a little bit slow and a little bit clunky. And I just think the other classes are a little bit cooler. So sorry, Barb. Now, the 2 classes we don't have access to are the Assassin and the Necromancer. It is a bummer because particularly Necromancer is my favourite class in Diablo 3, so I was looking forward to playing this on beta, but at the end of the day, they do have to keep something back. Assassin, again, is pretty cool. It's a bit kind of like Demon Hunter. Like, these 2 classes here mixed together almost make the DH on D3. But yeah, I was kind of looking forward to doing a bit of Assassin, but it is what it is. But as I say, the beta is fun. If you do know what you're doing, you can blast through the start of it in 3 or 4 hours, you know, even with stopping a little bit and doing all of the quests. But that will just be a question for you. How much time have you got to invest? How much do you want to play the game? Now, your progress does not carry over, so you can't give yourself a head start when the game comes out on the 23rd of September. But by all means, you can have a little play. I'd probably recommend picking one of them to go the whole way through the game, and then maybe having a little go of a couple of others just to get a flavour. I'm personally planning on playing all 7 classes all the way through, at least on normal when the game comes out, possibly up to the higher difficulties. But yeah, it's been an awful lot of fun. But obviously, I do have the kind of nostalgia of playing this game way back when. But that is the video. I hope it helped you out. I hope you're excited for the open beta. I hope, fingers crossed, the servers hold up and there aren't too many problems. I've been the Filthy Casual. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take it easy. Peace.